Go. Nice! Hello, welcome to the blocking portion of the Rainshade hat. This hat has been nicely blocked. This blob has not been blocked. After you have rinsed out all the soap out of your hat and wrung it a little bit so that it's got most of that excess moisture out of it, we need to block it so that it has more structure, like this hat here. We're gonna make sure that we have the right side out. You can tell because of this really faint pearl line here. We're gonna make sure that the hat is having that flat side down. So I'm looking at the wrong side of the hat. The next thing you're gonna need, I went to the dollar store and I bought a placemat and I cut it into 4-inch thick strips. And you can just line that on the inside. If you want something that's maybe more sturdy, something that's more breathable, you can also pick up some mesh, plastic mesh. And I actually like to use them as well. Find the more structure, the more I can manipulate the hat, but both are good. You're gonna flip it back around and pull so that the base of the hat touches your surface. It's part of the fun, is manipulating. And if you're finding that it just won't budge and you need it to be longer, this might be the shallowness that you want. So you can also place it on your head and stretch down. As long as it's still damp, you should be able to manipulate it. Flip it back over. And I'm gonna line up this pearled edge with the edge of my placemats. Pulling down until I'm happy with that. If your pearl edge moves, that's okay. If it doesn't touch the table, that's also okay. The idea is just to stretch it out. Now that I'm happy with this, we're gonna head over to my yoga mat to block it. Welcome to my floor. I have a whole slew of pins and I'm gonna be starting to make the shape. So I'm gonna start with the base of the hat, pinning it as close as I can to the ground. Just like that. And I'm gonna go all the way around. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to pin down the perimeter of the hat, making sure that it is even all the way around and preferably round, otherwise you'll get those flat edges from the pinwheel effect that we did when we were knitting. Last but certainly not least, we're going to define the crisp edge on the top of our crown. So now that I've done my final adjustments to the initial blocking, I'm gonna let this sit until it dries a little bit. I'm gonna say about 12 hours. Where I live, it's not very hot and it's super duper humid, so if I'm in a rush, I might put a fan on it, but I wouldn't use anything hot. Yeah, just let it do its thing. After a couple hours, you can remove the outside pin, unless you want a flat brim, where I would keep these on for a full day. I'm gonna remove these ones too, and after I do this, we'll come back. If you're unable to take the mesh out from underneath, you're gonna take out the pins here, take out the structure from inside, and then reapply the pins on the outside. So now that I've reapplied the pins, there's two options. You can either keep it like this. If you really want the edge to be symmetrical, you can leave it like this. You can pin it down, you can keep it flat. But if you want a real curled edge, I would flip it upside down. You're going to want to give it some time upside down anyways, after several hours, just so that it can dry from the inside. After you've let it dry completely, you're just gonna take out the pins and you have a hat. Here's what the dried hat looks like on a head. I hope you enjoyed, and I'm excited to see how you decorate your hats.